Tinibu showed up in Chicago with an unknown past on a student visa, and after some studying, although he's lied apparently about his educational background, he started laundering money for a Chicago heroin gang, claiming that one of its leaders was his cousin. It appears that he was able to make a good deal of money from this enterprise and had a portion seized by the U.S. government. As the investigation ramped up, he went back to Nigeria.
Hello lovely viewers, my name is Angelo, your anchor, and this is your most preferred YouTube channel, Nation Voice Tower, and I'm here with the updates for today. Please stay tuned. First on the list of my updates is a very strong video that has two international journalists dragging out Bola Ahmed Tinibu. Yes, he has come on board, or he has become popular, or things about Bola Ahmed Tinibu have gone viral within the past few months due to his background, his past, and his emergence, controversial emergence, let me say, as the president of Nigeria, doctored by INEC and their cohorts. Of course, this is general knowledge to everybody. So, the international community, aside George Galloway, the UK former parliamentary member, the international community have not taken their eyes off Nigeria. They have been following up everything involving Bola Ahmed Tinibu and the parties challenging his victory in court over time. Yes, don't forget that the just concluded presidential elections petitions tribunal didn't go down well with Nigerians. So people are looking forward to the Supreme Court. Now, first of all, this video is going to be talking about how Bola Ahmed Tinibu emerged in the US. Lots of people have asked questions on how he came to the US, who gave him the visa, how did he get money to travel to the US at that age, and all that. All right. Now, these two journalists have revealed lots of secrets that were not even known to the first video about Bola Tinibu. Please stay tuned for these two journalists, Alex Robinson and Kit Clarenberg. Okay, Alex Robinson is an independent reporter, and Kit Clarenberg is an investigative journalist. Please watch this video with lots and lots of interest. Thank you and stay tuned.
Who is Bola Ahmed Tinibu? The Nigerian president and chairman of ECOWAS has a past shrouded in mystery. African Stream spoke to Alex Rubinstein and Kit Clarenberg of the Grey Zone, whose recent investigation delved into the shady past of one of Nigeria's wealthiest men to try understand the motives of a man who many refer to as the mother of the market. Over the past 3 decades, Tinibu has played a prominent role in Nigeria's politics, serving as the senator and the governor of the Lagos state. His close ties with the US Embassy have also been subject to scrutiny. But something perhaps equally as sinister is his rise to power.
Bola Tinibu showed up in Chicago with an unknown past on a student visa, and after some studying, although he's lied apparently about his educational background, he started laundering money for a Chicago heroin gang, claiming that one of its leaders was his cousin. It appears that he was able to make a good deal of money from this enterprise and had a portion seized by the U.S. government. As the investigation ramped up, he went back to Nigeria and began his political career.
After being appointed ECOWAS chairman, Tinibu promised to promote economic inclusivity and integration. Yet the role of ECOWAS in West Africa has historically been the opposite.
ECOWAS is theoretically meant to maximise member states' collective bargaining power, but actually it's a bloc that makes it easier for former imperial powers in the region like France and Britain to exploit and enfeeble its constituent countries. It imposes strict Western-approved legal and financial frameworks upon members, and any state deviating from them can expect to be severely punished. In January 2022, ECOWAS imposed sanctions on Mali. This was following the military overthrow of its corrupt, unpopular Western-backed government. This prompted huge street protests in support of the new government by average Malians, who were also very supportive of their government's efforts to rid their country of malign foreign influence, such as banning French media.
So where does West Africa go from here? The future is uncertain. His day in the sun may not last forever.
Bola Tinibu is the perfect imperial puppet because he has the shady past, because because the United States is able to exert leverage over him. He's been embroiled in so many corruption scandals that the moment that he becomes no longer useful to the United States and its Western allies, they can put him in prison. They can do with whatever they want with him, and they can ruin his life. But for now, he's useful leading this Western-backed operation against Nigeria.
All right, you watched that, right? So we now know what he is. Yes, if you compare this and the other video that I brought to you about David Hudeyn's expose on Bola Ahmed Tinibu, and you compare it to other videos and updates I've given you, you will be able to deduce who Bola Tinibu is. Lots of updates will come on him because I have lots of files on him. So please don't back down on Nation Voice Tara. Please, as for that video there, it is now evident about on who Bola Tinibu is, how he came to the US, what he was doing in the US, and this tends to give you more insights on the information on this man that is now the president of Nigeria, controversially. Yes, without wasting much of your time, second on my updates, former President Olusegun Obasanjo has been called out or has been dragged out for the wrong reasons. Yes, if you're following the trend of events, recently President Olusegun Obasanjo in an occasion or in an event did something very, very heinous and something unheard of in the whole Yoruba kingdom. What did he do? Can you remember? All right, let me tell you. President Olusegun Obasanjo asked the monarchs from Oyo State, where the event was taking place, to stand before him and pay allegiance. This is, well, I don't know how I would describe this, but I would see, well, traditionally, President Olusegun Obasanjo is just a member, or let me say, he's an ordinary floor member. Yes, he's part of the subjects of these monarchs, okay, from his state though. But this one happened in Oyo State. Let me give you that brief video so that you would listen, although it was done in Yoruba, but you could understand what he was saying in that video. He ordered the monarchs to stand up before him. Who does that? Please watch this video and then I'll tell you what I have for you after the video. Stay tuned.
Ejo. Ẹ̀yin lọ́balọ́ba orí adé mo kí yín kú jókòó ẹ ṣé tẹ́ wà ńbí ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ nǹkan kan ibi tí gómìnà bá wà tàbí president bá wà kò sí ọba náà ó ń láti dìde fún gómìnà tàbí fún president ẹ dìde. Ẹ jókòó.
Okay, President Olusegun Obasanjo there. He asked old men, old traditional rulers, to stand. Now, back to the issue at hand. A group, very, very strong group, has asked President Olusegun Obasanjo to redo what he did the other day. They have asked him to apologize to the monarchs of Oyo State in 3 days or face the consequences. Okay, this group has called for him to quickly come to his senses and he must show remorse. Yes, that is what this group is saying. They are saying this is an abomination in the Yoruba kingdom. This is very, very heinous. This is unheard of. This is something that has never been done before, all right? So, by the opinion of this group, they are calling on Obasanjo, they are calling on Bola Ahmed Tinibu to, you know, talk sense into Olusegun Obasanjo because they feel that this is the only person that Obasanjo can listen to. Contrary to that, I don't know if Obasanjo can listen to Bola Ahmed Tinibu though. So, this group decided to order a brief press conference and so that they will be able to pass their information to Olusegun Obasanjo to quickly apologize to the monarchs or face the consequences. Please watch this video as they called out Obasanjo for what he did the other day.
Well, the essence of us coming out is to lay the for records that in Yoruba land we detest disrespect, acts that are dishonorable, and we believe that this is just one of it. And taking this stand is to allow, because this is democracy and there are issues of this nature, if it is not properly resolved, it can lead to incitement of the public. It can lead to total breakdown of law and order. In a day, an Oba's crown can be removed because Chief Olusegun Obasanjo has command. And people and generation yet unborn, if they see this, they will see it as as a immutable factor. It is the reason why we say that if Chief Olusegun Obasanjo fails, I'm a legal practitioner. I believe in the law. And in terms of rule of law, I believe in a former president, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, also knows the law. He has violated the law. He has incited the public. He has defamed the Obas. He has disrespected and discredited their hallowed, honorable stool by commanding them like babies. This ought not to be so. If it were to be in the ancient times, I don't think Obasanjo will go home alive. And that is why we are appealing to our Obas that if he fails within their own capacity, let them call each other and sanction him, because this is sacrilege. And if that still fails, that is not coming to apologize, this is a clarion warning to Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. It's not a threat. It's a clarion warning to all Nigerians to call him to order. That being a former president, he should not start a war from within. He has always been at the edge of countering the Yoruba's interest. He has always been disrespectful to Yoruba's ascendancy. And this is one of his calculated attempts to cause unnecessary crisis in Yoruba land. And that is why we say, if he fails to apologize, this offense, this action, we are going to make sure we take him to the court for defamation, for discrediting the stool within our capacity and locus as the president of Yoruba Council Worldwide. I speak as the vanguard voice for all Yoruba people. And this that I am saying is in consonant, and I'm repeating, this is in consonant with all the others. Let him bring any dissenting opinion that will counter my opinion. It is on that note that we have made our call to President Bola Ahmed Tinibu to call him to order, because this action is criminal, is capable of destructing public peace, and that is why we take the hint of the law that if he fails within the next 3 days of him coming openly to apologize to all Nigerians, especially the royal Obas in Yoruba land. And it is when he has done that and is sober, then we will now take it and see reason with him.
All right, yeah, you watched it. I can't laugh more than this. But one funny thing about the first video I showed you about the monarchs was that these monarchs were laughing while they stood up, right? Did you notice? They were laughing, okay? That means they found fun in whatever Obasanjo was doing, okay? So I don't know why this group should take it very personal. Though, traditionally, it is very, very wrong to ask traditional rulers as strong as those people in that particular video to stand before you. Okay, fine, he was a former president, but I don't know. But if you ask me, I would say he still has the constitutional power, because an ex-president is an ex-president. Yes, he is still part of the governing council, and he is part of the elder statesmen in Nigeria. Of course, that particular those particular people cannot be sidelined. Just like Muhammadu Buhari too, Goodluck Jonathan, and Obasanjo, they will always be consulted if things pertaining Nigeria escalate the normal level. All right, so I think he still has that constitutional right to over monarchs, although he doesn't have the right to sack them. But well, that should be left to how they would interpret this particular act of his. Because if you ask me, I would say traditionally he's not supposed to do that, but politically he's ahead of them. Yes, politically he's ahead of them. So I believe he could pull strings that could take them out of office, because in that part of the country, Nigeria, lots of monarchs are reinstated by political offices. Okay, being a king in such kingdoms are political. They are not actually traditional or hereditary. Okay, so that means politicians or people in the governing council still have power over monarchs. All right, so that is very tricky, but we'll see what happens over time. Let's see whether Obasanjo will apologize or not. Finally, I will go far away to Kaduna State. Lots of things have happened in Kaduna as a result of bad governance, ranging from the time of Nasir El-Rufai's administration, and things are still being recorded. Amongst these things are banditry and terrorism at a very, very high level in Kaduna State. Now, reports are saying there have been over 200 churches shut down within the last few years, and then there have been over 19 pastors that have been recorded dead in 4 years. All right. Now, as a result of this, the Christian Association of Nigeria, Kaduna State chapter, made up of all the Christian heads, that is, all Christian clerics, senior Christian clerics in Kaduna State, called for a meeting in conjunction with the Commissioner of Police of the Kaduna State division or chapter of the Nigerian Police Force. All right, yes, and well, the Kaduna State headquarters has recorded lots of let's say lots of excellence in operations and capture of bandits and all that, insurgency, and all that. But I think that has not been enough, because lots of lives are being lost and lots of lives have been lost. To this effect, this chapter of CAN have called a meeting so that they will be able to see to the end of this whole, hula baloo that is taking over the government and the political periphery of Kaduna State. Please stay tuned for the people from Kaduna State.
Banditry and terrorism have impacted on communities in Kaduna State in various ways, with hundreds of innocent lives lost and property worth millions of naira destroyed, including places of worship. This is in addition to the huge humanitarian crisis created by thousands of internally displaced persons whose means of livelihood were also disrupted by activities of criminal elements. This meeting between Christian leaders drawn from the 23 local government areas of Kaduna State and the State Commissioner of Police, Musa Garba, is to strengthen relationship and confidence building with the religious groups.
What I'm doing here is being proactive. I'm engaging with you, hearing from you, telling you my own actions, and even appealing to you to give us information. Is there anything being more proactive than this?
Lamenting the devastating effects of banditry on the socio-economic well-being of the people, the Kaduna State chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend Joseph Hayab, says the church in the state has gone through difficult times. Other speakers tasked the police commissioner to match his words with action by going after the bandits and also consider sanctioning religious leaders who engage in hate sermons and speeches.
That over 200 churches in Kaduna have been shut down. The Baptists know that they have over 150 of their churches shut down, from Briningwari to Chukun and Kajun.
Also, we want to also give you a promise that we will watch you putting into action what you have said.
While the attacks often occur in the rural communities as a result of inadequate boots on the ground, the Kaduna State government says it is taking the lead in the protection of lives and properties of citizens with the recruitment of 7,000 youths into the State Vigilance Service.
I believe our Kaduna Vigilance Service will also play a key role in terms of giving them the intelligence they need, as well as increasing the number of boots on ground.
With the assurance by the Commissioner of Police to improve security in Kaduna State, these religious leaders are leaving this meeting with great optimism that the police boss and his colleagues will match their words with action so that those sacked from their ancestral homes by bandits will go back and restart their normal lives.
All right, all said and done. Peace is always what we ask for. Peace and tranquility is always what we ask for, okay? And these things can only be brought about by political stability, okay? And I wouldn't say social stratification, because no matter the strata you belong to in the social pyramid, I guess that you could also find peace. Of course, the rich and the poor could coexist, all right? But I would say the political unrest in lots of states, especially in the north and the northeast, have been an issue of concern over time. So if not well tackled, I think that it may actually dent the political face of the northern part of Nigeria, which will very much affect the political periphery or the polity of Nigeria, because the northern part of this country holds, if not the majority of population and landmass existent in Nigeria. All right, so that should mean that that place should be, security attention should be shifted to the north and the northeast, so that there will be a sort of stable governance for a progress of a new Nigeria. That is all we do. That is what we all want. All right. Please, thank you for staying with us. I would urge you to stay tuned with Nation Voice for more updates. Like our videos to our viewers, share them. Don't forget to drop a comment for us in the comment section. You're doing what I love what you're doing, and I will do more so that you would always give us credence and credit. All right, and then finally, please subscribe to this channel and don't forget to tap the notification bell if you haven't done so. From our table, we're saying see you next time. Bye.